Hi, my name is Sonnet Gaertner. I'm a 2002 graduate of St. John's School. I'm currently serving in the U.S. Peace Corps as a health volunteer in northern Peru and also as a research study coordinator with Johns Hopkins University. I work mainly in disease prevention with adolescents and young mothers with children under the age of 3, focusing in nutrition, anemia, and healthy pregnancies. I'm also a field coordinator with Johns Hopkins University through the University Partnership Program with the U.S. Peace Corps. So I finished my master's studies at Johns Hopkins and am currently doing my thesis work, which is a research study on chronic disease progression in the country of Peru. So my brother started at St. John when he was in kindergarten about 5 years before I did. And I followed in suit. I began in preschool and stayed through 8th grade, so 10 straight years of education there. Enormous part of my formation, of my values, of my education. Graduated in 8th grade in 2002. Went on to Holy Names Academy up on Capitol Hill with 6 other St. John's classmates. From there, I went to study at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. with a bachelor's in international health under the School of Nursing and Health Sciences. And once I graduated from Georgetown, I went on to study at Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, where I am currently studying.
Sonnet was very confident from the day she arrived. She was immediately social and interactive.
I remember daycare one time. We asked her how she was doing because she was so small compared to the other kids. And their comment was, Sonnet knows how to get her way. She gets her needs met.
She once told me that, she said, well, if it's been done before, I should be able to do it, right? And that's how she's approached life. She's always had that belief that she could do it. There's no real reason why you couldn't do anything if it had been done before, that you should be able to with just enough grit. And she still approaches life like that.
A typical day is not typical. You wake up, you may or may not have running water, you may or may not have electricity. There is a lot of poverty. There's a lot of difficulties, especially for young people in pursuing their futures due to problems with not being able to finish their education because they have to help the family out with work. I have learned so much from the people here. It's funny, as a Peace Corps volunteer, you come to your country with this idea that's sort of given to you when you first join, that you're going out to help people. But I would say that every single person I know in the Peace Corps has learned more from their community than they've imparted. Of all the things that I gained at St. John, between education, support from my family and the community, one thing that kind of permeated it all, that you can't put in a curriculum, is this idea of support, an idea of inspiration, and giving self-confidence to students that they can make change in the world, that they can do what they want to do, even if it's off the beaten track, even if it is outside of the norm. It began as early as first grade. In Mrs. Gaertner's class, we had random acts of kindness, little slips that if you were seen opening a door for someone or sharing your dessert at lunch, you would get this little slip recognizing your random act of kindness. And it was those small things that you implant on a child of 6 years that stays with them, that this is the norm. It isn't exceptional to be there for others. It isn't something extra that we do. It's something that should be part of our everyday life and our everyday nature. I did a lot of sports at St. John's. Through sports, you learn camaraderie, you learn sportsmanship, you learn dedication, you learn teamwork. I ran on the cross-country team, I ran on the track team, I played volleyball, basketball, and soccer while I was there, so I was definitely involved. Truly, St. John's is where I started. It's where my dream started. It's where I did my first community service, where I found my first role models. I would say that where I am today and how the St. John's community and school inspired me to come to work in Peru in the Peace Corps as a volunteer, studying my master's in public health, really started on many fronts. Through my Spanish class, was introduced to children on the southern hemisphere, living in a completely different reality, completely different culture. I would say not only the community giving me this idea, not in the classroom, not directly telling me, but creating this reality in which I grew up, where serving the community and giving back and being an active member and being aware were just expected. That's the way people were. And then just on the micro level, seeing my teachers each day that always came to school with a smile on their face, always helped a student who was having trouble. Those are things that you really can't put a price on and that you can't grade in a grade book.
She belongs to the world. And I think all children belong to the world. They're basically on loan to us. And we have to, do the best we can and make sacrifices. Certainly it's a sacrifice to pay for your child's education. It was worth it to us. I'd do it again.
In terms of a long-term legacy that I would like to leave at St. John's, just that every kid gets this opportunity to be believed in and to be raised in a community that is there for each other, that young people from the age of 4 to 14 are being raised and educated in this very strong, unique community and reality that fosters good people.